Good afternoon, students. How are you? I hope you all are fine and staying home to keep yourself safe from COVID-19. Students, here we are going to start chapter 7, Human Resources. Let us begin, students. What is resource? As here in the figure, you can see these different natural resources, as well as there will be some man-made resources also, which which you can see around you. A resource is a source or supply from which a benefit is produced and that has some utility. Utility means that is useful, that can satisfy our some needs. Here in this chapter, as we are discussing about the human resource. So what is human resource? Human resource is the set of the people who make up the workforce of an organization, business sector, industry, or economy. So they are related to this workforce. They are endowed with intelligence, thinking, creative skills, and are biggest and the most valuable resource. A narrower concept of this human resource is human capital, the knowledge which is individual embody. Similar term is include manpower, labor, personnel, associates or simply people. Now, distribution of population. Distribution of population is the way in which people are spread across the earth's surface is known as pattern of population distribution. More than 90% of the world's population lives in about 30% of the land surface. As here in this figure you can see, of every 100 people in the world, these yellow color people live in Asia. That shows the density or the people living in Asia population is higher. This orange color living in Europe. So Europe population is lesser than Asia, even lesser than Africa also. And this blue color people live in Central and South America. This red color people, so as these different colors are there showing the spread of these people in these different continents. The distribution of population in the world is extremely uneven, not equally spread all over the world. Through this population distribution map, you can see these different colors are showing that the different number of people, like 5 to 49 million people. So density of population you can see living in these different countries. So there is the dark color you can see here. The maximum population living in these two countries, India and China. Rest USA, this Brazil, the Asia, that mainly that Russia, and these different Southeast Asian countries. Some areas are very crowded and some are sparsely populated, as in the map you can see. Below 5 million people, this color is showing these areas. The crowded areas are South and Southeast Asia. Crowded area, South and Southeast Asia. These are crowded area. Europe, Northeastern America. Europe, few countries in Europe and this Northeastern America, Northeastern America. Very few people live in high latitude areas. Latitude, high latitude, if you see the world map, generally equator passed from this region. Little downside. So high latitude means near the polar areas, polar region. So as from this equator we move toward the polar region, we can see here also the population is sparse in comparison to these regions. Tropical desert, high mountains, and areas of equatorial forest. So areas of equatorial forest which is near this equator, there also population is looking sparse. In the different countries, mountain region and other area, there also population is sparse. Means less people are living in that areas. Many more people live in north of equator than south of equator. If you see this equator line, so north you can see the people living and south you can see the people living. So this is very clear from the map also. Almost three-quarters of the world people live in two continents, Asia and Africa. Asia and Africa. This Africa, Asia part, including these all region, and Africa, these two continents. 60% world's people stay in just 10 countries. These 10 countries you can see here. All of them have more than 100 million people. At present, the world's population has crossed a 7 billion mark. China is the most populous country. India and China accounts for 37% of the world's population. By large, 60% of the world population living in Asia, 16% in Africa, 13.5% in America, 10% in Europe, and 0.5% in Oceania. Oceania is this Australia, including the other island region, island countries in these different. So this is Oceania. Sorry, this Australia is separated from there. So these different island countries in these region that are Oceania. Density of population. Density of population is the number of people living in a unit area of Earth's surface. By this map you can see कि wherever these crowded regions are looking, that shows the higher density of population. Wherever the people are looking lesser in that region, that have a less dense population, lower density of population. So it is normally expressed as per square kilometer. The average density of population in the whole world is 51 person per square kilometer. South Central Asia has the highest density of population, followed by East and Southeast Asia. So Central Asia you can see this region, highest density of population you can see in this region. Population data. One term is there, population data. So what is population data? Population data is collected through census. Census is a periodic enumeration of people living in a particular region, in a particular country, in a particular state. It is a compiled data of complete demographic statistics covering the entire population living in a country. The first complete census in India was brought out in the year 1881, and since then it is held regularly at every 10th year. Now, India and land-man ratio. So, इंडिया में लैंड मैन रेशियो का क्या स्थिति है? Let us see. India is the seventh largest. Here T is left, student. One T later is left here. India is the seventh largest country in the world in terms of geographical size, but in ranks the second largest. Again here T is remaining. It is a largest in terms of population, means seventh largest in size. If we see in terms of size, the India is the seventh largest country in the world, and if we see in terms of population, it is second largest country in the world, or you can say second populous country of the world. It has crossed a population of 1 billion mark in the year 2001. The total population of India, 1.21 billion, is now bigger than the combined population of USA, Indonesia, Brazil, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. The variation in the distribution of population within India is highly remarkable. Nearly half of the population live in 5 states, that is Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, and Madhya Pradesh. Of these, Uttar Pradesh to be the most populous state with a population of almost 200 million. On the basis of density of population, India can be grouped into following three broad regions. What are those broad regions? That are states with low density of population. First one of that, state with low density of population. In certain states, the density of population is up to 250 persons per square kilometer. 250 With this orange color here in the map, you can see all these looking more than 250. This is due to the physical constraint, unfavorable climates, as well as slow economic development, poor infrastructure, and several other factors. What can be the several other factors? The government policies, the migration, other different factors also would be working there. This include northeastern and northwestern parts of India and western Rajasthan. Northeastern state with low density. These areas, this Rajasthan, state with moderate density of population. So the density of population in these states varies from 251 to 500. So these are in this map you can see 251, more than 250 to 500. So again here this yellow color, sorry, orange color. These regions have largely undulating topography. Undulating topography means uneven land relief, relatively less fertile soil, and paucity of water for irrigation. Relatively less fertile soil and paucity of water for irrigation. Availability of water is less in that region. Odisha 269 population density, 269 persons per square kilometer. Gujarat 308, Karnataka 319, Tripura 350 are some states included in this category. State with high density of population. So state with high density of population can be seen in this, the red color mark and these dark orange color marks. Density of population in these states above 501 persons per square kilometer. Favorable climatic conditions, rich fertile soil, well-developed agriculture, and a high level of industrialization has led to rapid urbanization and therefore brought high density of population in these states. Bihar, West Bengal, Bihar 1102, West Bengal 1029, Kerala 859, Uttar Pradesh 828 are some of the states that fall in this category. Thank you students. These topics we have to we had to cover today, and rest of the topic will be covered in the next class. So revise these topics which we have discussed here. Till then, bye bye students.